Hey guys! So today is going to be a sketch a day video brought to you by very random thoughts from when I was a child, like creepy ones. Because Halloween always reminds me of the very creepy things I was into as a kid. Are you surprised? Because I didn't watch normal TV shows like everyone else. I grew up on the strange and bizarre, so today we're going to do a sketch just about that, this random movie that I always remembered as a child, and it was probably way too gory for my age, but it was called Motel Hell. So we're going to draw a creepy couple from it, and you may not know who it is, and if you don't, it's just going to look like a creepy random older couple, but it'll be creepy enough. So let's get on with the drawing. So like I said, I did not have the privileges of having cable TV when I was a child. I had regular television. You know, we got channel 2, 4, 5, 7, 11, 13, and whatever random PBS shows with Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood there was on Extra. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood was like everything. Anyways, but I'm not drawing that today. Instead, I'm drawing a creepy couple from this movie called Motel Hell, and my parents let me watch it, and I shouldn't have probably, because basically it's these two older couple who owns a motel, and it's like on the side of the road, and it has a blinking light, because the motel is called actually Motel Hello, but the O is like blinking out. Clever, huh? Yeah, it's like a very corny, like D-rated TV show, not TV show, movie about this older couple who was very creepy, and they like cooked food for people because they own this motel, and it turned out something really creepy where they chopped up like the visitors. I know this is super graphic, and they took their heads and they buried them in the ground like their bodies, so they're trying to like grow crops of people, and like some of their eyes were like gone, or it was really intense and creepy, but I was so intrigued as a child, and I did not really get nightmares from this, I don't remember. And I was just always into very creepy shows like this. I wasn't watching Bear in the Big Blue House when I was a child. I don't even know what that was back then. I didn't know what SpongeBob was. I just knew I didn't have it. Instead, I was watching X-Files. I watched every single X-Files episode. That's about Mulder and Scully, who are like going to the paranormal depths of case files. That was just the best. I used to watch the movies in theater, as dorky as it sounds, with my mom on like opening day, and I used to watch TV shows like Tales from the Crypt, and I felt like so amazing as a child, like, oh my gosh, I'm staying up past my bedtime to like midnight just to watch this TV show of this guy who had like a shrunken mummy face, and he was like reading storytime tales, but they were really creepy. And then there was TV shows like The Outer Limits, and then it didn't even stop with the creepy TV shows. I watched other creepy movies other than Motel Hell. I watched The Dark Crystal. It was a Jim Henson like Muppet type thing, and it was very random. It actually wasn't good when I look back at it, but it was creepy at the time. There was some that children were allowed to watch that shouldn't have watched, like A Little Princess is super dark. A Princess Bride was just hilarious and like very graphic, like he was dying, and that was just good. The Goonies was very dark, about pirates attacking children. There was this movie called Little Nemo Adventures in Wonderland where this kid went to like, it was a cartoon animation, and he went to this wonderland where like creatures attacking him, and I used to actually still have dreams about this from a child to today. It was that crazy. Willow, about the little dwarf people in medieval times, and there was Labyrinth with the guy who looked like he had like the Pomeranian hair, and he looked like a woman with all the makeup, and he had David Bowie had those pants, and he had like his crotch was very like, I just knew I shouldn't have looked there when I was a child. It was just in your face. And then he was like dancing and kind of be seductive with like this girl who was like, I'm guessing 14, and she was stuck in this labyrinth maze that he created. That was the most dark and crazy movies. I used to get panic attacks when I was a kid watching it, but I still loved it. It was so dreamlike and cool. It was like if Alice in Wonderland was stuck in that tournament from Harry Potter with the dragons, but it was a labyrinth as well and crazy. That's how crazy that movie was. It was so good. There was a never-ending story where this kid had this book, and like he was involved in it, and like it connected with him in real life, and this kid had to save the world, and his pet horse drowned in mud, and everything about these movies had really dark things, and my parents allowed me to watch it instead of watching cable things because they didn't want to splurge for the extra money for the cable. And then when you grow up, you don't realize these things. You have to pay extra bills till you're older. And even on with the books, oh my gosh, there's this one called Aesop's Fables, and it had the most beautiful illustrations ever, and we used to read it so much that the book was literally falling apart to pieces. And each story was really dark about some animal creature having like human personalities and dying somehow. It was just crazy. And then there was Coneheads about this family who were aliens that came to Earth and had to like evolve with humans and like get along with them. That was insane. And I just wanted to do this video about crazy things I saw as a child, because there's definitely things in our childhood that makes us different, and that was definitely like a part of my life that I felt very nerdy and like unattached from all of my friends, because they were at home watching Ren and Stimpy and like all these cool shows that I wasn't allowed to watch, or I didn't have capabilities unless I went to my friends and ditched my home. So I hope you guys like creepy dark stories and this random creepy couple from this movie Motel Hell that I was really into as a kid and I watched a lot. I know, it's really crazy. I don't remember if there's anything super graphic that you shouldn't see in this movie if you want to see it. And again, if you don't know what this movie is, it's just a random couple, but I did like how this turned out. And it took me around an hour to draw this, and I did it with like pencil and some shading and all that stuff, and I just loved it. Oh, and I was listening to the soundtrack to Beasts of the Southern Wild. I just recently saw that movie, and it is so weird but beautiful, and the soundtrack is one of my very favorite things. I was listening to that soundtrack while I was doing makeup tutorials for like the Halloween makeup looks I've been doing on this channel, and it is just so good. And there's some of it, I think that's in a foreign language, maybe French. I'm so sorry if I don't know what the languages were that they did in that soundtrack, but it is just like hypnotic and creepy and eerie, and it just fit this drawing while I was drawing it. So I hope you like it. Hope you guys enjoyed this drawing, and what I would like to know today is what is something that made you a little different as a kid and stood out from the rest, because I know some things make us feel like we're unwanted or kind of the nerdy kids of the group when we're kids, and we're like feel so upset and frustrated with our parents if they don't like give us certain things, but then we realize it kind of teaches us lessons, or it makes us like in a better, unique adult. Or maybe you just realize that, oh, that's what my parents did give me, that they couldn't afford it, and things cost money when you're older. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will definitely see you tomorrow, and I love you all. Bye. Do some pigtails. You want to do them kind of messy, maybe a little bit of curl for what we're doing today. Semi-Wednesday Addams, but if she took her braids out. We're going to take this yellow color as our base with a foundation brush and just smear that all over our face. It's going to look like you're using mustard as a foundation product.